The Origins of Wealth, a Multifaceted Exploration. Written by Ronnie Rowland, published by Growth Literacy Lounge. Introduction. In The Origins of Wealth, we journey through time and geography to uncover the intricate mosaic of factors that have shaped the concept of wealth. From ancient empires built on the might of armies and the bounty of the land to today's digital barons who capitalize on data and connectivity, this exploration delves into how wealth has evolved and influenced societies across eras. This book is designed to recount historical facts and provoke thought about the nature of wealth and its future. By understanding its roots, we prepare ourselves to handle its fruits more wisely and equitably. Subscribing to the channel will help you join our dynamic group of explorers and learners. Your support empowers us to deliver more engaging and insightful content, and is a token of encouragement. You're committing to advancing financial education and personal development by joining our movement. Chapter 1: Defining Wealth in Ancient Civilizations. The quest to understand wealth begins not in bustling modern stock exchanges or corporate boardrooms, but amidst the ancient ruins that dot our landscapes, whispering secrets of times when wealth was measured by the expanse of land and the yield of crops. In this chapter, we will travel back to the cradle of civilization to explore how ancient societies like Egypt and Mesopotamia laid the foundational concepts of wealth that continue to influence us today. The fertile Nile River Valley, flush with the promise of bountiful harvests, was the lifeblood of ancient Egyptian civilization. Wealth here was directly linked to agricultural productivity and the ability to control and store large quantities of grain. This agrarian wealth was not merely about sustenance, but also a tool of power and social hierarchy. Pharaohs and high officials used their grain stores to fund monumental constructions, wage wars, and maintain the loyalty of their subjects. Similarly, in Mesopotamia, the rich alluvial plains between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers supported a wealth system where land ownership and irrigation techniques played crucial roles. The concept of wealth expanded beyond the fields to include the control of water resources, a critical factor in this arid region. The rulers who could master these water resources commanded great economic and political power, which, in turn, reinforced their societal status. These ancient civilizations also recognized the value of precious commodities like lapis lazuli and gold, used as adornments, mediums of exchange, and symbols of divine favor. This appreciation of mineral wealth hinted at the more complex economic systems that would follow, where trade and resource control became critical elements in the definition of wealth. While the ancient civilizations understood wealth in terms of tangible resources like grain and gold, the narrative of wealth was about to become even more glittering. As we turn the pages to the next chapter, we will delve into the epochs where gold, silver, and the mining empires redefined the stakes of wealth, setting the foundation for economic theories and global explorations that reshaped the world. Retracing our ancestors' steps in defining wealth, we gain a historical perspective and an appreciation for its complexity and variability. As we move forward in our journey through the origins of wealth, remember the enduring impact of these ancient definitions and how they set the stage for the wealth dynamics of subsequent eras. Join us in the next chapter as we uncover the rich tapestry of mining empires and their lasting legacies on wealth. Chapter 2: Gold, Silver, and the Mining Empires. As we transition from the fertile river valleys of ancient civilizations to the shimmering veins of precious metals buried deep within the earth, our exploration of wealth takes on a new dimension. This chapter delves into the eras dominated by gold and silver, where mining empires flourished and fundamentally altered the global wealth landscape. The allure of gold and silver has captivated human societies across the millennia. These metals did not merely serve as beautiful objects, but became pivotal in economic systems worldwide, symbolizing wealth and power. From the ancient gold mines of Nubia, enriching the pharaohs of Egypt, to the silver mines of classical Athens, which funded a vast military and helped build one of the most iconic civilizations in history, the quest for these precious resources drove expansions and conquests. The discovery of vast silver deposits in the New World during the Spanish conquest transformed global trade networks and economic theories. The influx of such enormous quantities of silver caused wealth and strife, leading to inflationary episodes in Europe and altering trade balances with Asia, particularly with China and India, where silver was in high demand. Mining technologies also evolved during these periods. Techniques such as hydraulic mining, developed during the Roman era and later perfected during the Middle Ages, allowed empires to extract resources more efficiently, increasing their wealth and power and causing environmental and social upheavals. As significant as the mining empires were, people's ideas about wealth also profoundly shaped societies. Moving forward, we will explore how philosophers from Plato to Adam Smith interpreted the meaning and morality of wealth. Their theories laid the groundwork for modern economics and continue influencing our understanding of wealth today. In our journey through the epochs, shaped by the pursuit of mineral wealth, we see the transformation of landscapes and societies and the beginning of global economic interconnections that continue to influence us today. As we close this chapter on the glittering legacies of gold and silver, let us prepare to delve deeper into the minds of great economic thinkers in the next chapter, where we uncover the philosophers' wealth economic ideas from Plato to Adam Smith. Join us as we continue to weave the intricate history of wealth across the ages. Chapter 3: The Philosophers' Wealth Economic Ideas from Plato to Adam Smith. While miners unearthed the physical treasures that defined wealth in tangible terms, philosophers and economists explored the more elusive dimensions of wealth, its ethical implications, societal roles, and economic theories. This chapter delves into the minds of some of the greatest thinkers from ancient Greece to the Enlightenment, whose ideas on wealth have profoundly shaped our modern economic systems. The ancient Greeks, Plato and Aristotle, pondered the nature of wealth and its place within a just society. Plato viewed wealth as potentially disruptive, advocating for a society where guardians, devoid of personal wealth, ruled justly. On the other hand, Aristotle saw wealth as a necessary means but cautioned against its excesses, promoting a balanced approach to prosperity. As we leap forward to the Middle Ages, the conversation shifts to the moral evaluations of wealth within the Christian context. Thomas Aquinas integrated Aristotle's philosophy with Christian doctrine, arguing that wealth was acceptable as long as it served the common good and supported moral virtues. The Renaissance brought a renewed focus on individualism and the secular aspects of wealth. This era set the stage for the profound shifts that Adam Smith would later articulate during the Enlightenment. Smith's groundbreaking work, The Wealth of Nations, argued for the invisible hand of the market, proposing that individual self-interest, rather than government intervention, often resulted in the most significant economic and societal benefits. The philosophical foundations of thinkers like Adam Smith were soon tested as European powers extended their global reach. In the next chapter, we will explore how colonialism expanded the European concepts of wealth through the direct and often brutal extraction of resources and subjugation of other cultures, shaping the global economic landscape in profound and lasting ways. From Plato's skepticism about wealth to Adam Smith's advocacy for free markets, the philosophical journey through the concept of wealth reveals diverse and evolving perspectives that continue to influence contemporary views on economics and society. As we close this chapter on the intellectual exploration of wealth, we prepare to witness its practical application and exploitation as we turn to the era of colonialism and the pursuit of wealth. Join us in the next chapter to explore how these theories were applied globally, often with dramatic consequences. Chapter 4: Colonialism and the Pursuit of Wealth. As the philosophical theories of wealth matured in Europe, the practical pursuit of these ideals expanded beyond the continent's borders. The age of colonialism marked a period of intense and often aggressive expansion as European powers sought to apply and exploit the economic principles they had developed at home. This chapter explores how colonial ventures not only pursued wealth but also reshaped economies and societies around the globe. The desire for precious metals, spices, and other lucrative commodities fueled the drive for colonial expansion. Nations like Spain, Portugal, the Netherlands, and later Britain and France established vast empires that spanned continents. The conquest of the Americas, the colonization of parts of Africa and Asia, and the trade routes established across the Atlantic and Indian Oceans illustrate the global scale of this pursuit. In the Americas, the extraction of silver and gold had profound impacts on local populations and European economies alike. The influx of wealth from the New World into Spain and Portugal altered the economic landscape of Europe, leading to inflation and shifts in power dynamics. Similarly, the British East India Company in Asia controlled trade routes and effectively ruled large regions, extracting wealth through trade monopolies and direct rule. Mercantilism dominated the economic policies of this era, and the colonial powers viewed wealth as a zero-sum game. Wealth extracted from colonies was seen as a direct benefit to the mother country, often at the expense of the colonized regions. This led to economic dependency and significant disruptions in traditional ways of life, setting the stage for future economic disparities. The Industrial Revolution was another transformative force that reshaped concepts of wealth. As we move from the era of colonial mercantilism to the age of industrial capitalism, technological advancements brought about new methods of wealth creation, drastically altering social structures and economic models once again. The colonial period's complex interplay of exploration, conquest, and exploitation demonstrates how pursuing wealth can drive human endeavor to its most ambitious heights and questionable depths. As we conclude this chapter on the global expansion of European economic concepts, we prepare to enter the Industrial Revolution in the next chapter, the Industrial Revolution and the Rise of Capital. Join us as we explore how innovations in technology and production opened up new avenues for wealth generation and fundamentally changed the global economic order. Chapter 5: The Industrial Revolution and the Rise of Capital. Transitioning from the age of colonial exploitation to the era of industrial innovation, we enter a period where the very mechanisms of wealth creation underwent a seismic shift. The Industrial Revolution, beginning in the late 18th century, introduced new technologies and production methods that enhanced the capacity for wealth generation and transformed social and economic structures across the globe. The Industrial Revolution originated in Great Britain and quickly spread to other parts of Europe and North America. It was characterized by the shift from manual labor and artisanal workshops to large-scale factory production powered by steam engines. This period saw the birth of the textile industry, iron production, and the mechanization of agriculture, which collectively boosted economic productivity and wealth creation on an unprecedented scale. The rise of factories brought a new class of wealthy industrialists and a burgeoning middle class. This shift also precipitated a dramatic change in the labor landscape, with a massive migration of people from rural areas to cities searching for work. The concentration of labor in urban areas created opportunities and new social challenges, including overcrowding, poor working conditions, and the rise of labor movements. Capital became the cornerstone of the new industrial economy. Wealth was no longer tied solely to land or physical commodities, but also to capital investments in machinery, factories, and, later, corporate stocks. This transformation in the concept of wealth was mirrored by changes in financial institutions and markets, which evolved to serve industrial capitalism's needs. While the Industrial Revolution spurred growth and prosperity for many, it also introduced complex challenges, including economic disparities and social strife. In the next chapter, we will explore how these challenges were exacerbated by the dual pressures of further technological innovations and the devastating impacts of global conflicts throughout the 20th century. As we wrap up our exploration of the Industrial Revolution, it's clear that this period was not just about the rise of machines but the profound transformations in how wealth was created and distributed. The legacies of this era set the stage for the modern economic world. Join us in the next chapter, Wealth in the Age of Innovation and War, as we delve into the complexities of wealth in a rapidly changing technological landscape shaped by innovation and conflict. Chapter 6: Wealth in the Age of Innovation and War. The dawn of the 20th century brought with it a continuation of industrial progress and the onset of global conflicts that would redefine the world's political, social, and economic landscapes. This chapter explores how the interplay between groundbreaking technological innovations and the devastating effects of world wars shaped the concept of wealth during this tumultuous period. The early 20th century was marked by significant advancements in technology, including the proliferation of the automobile, the expansion of telecommunications, and the advent of electricity in homes and industries. These innovations spurred economic growth and created new industries and opportunities for wealth accumulation. Companies like Ford and General Electric became symbols of American industrial might and economic prosperity. However, this era of innovation was also a time of great conflict. World War I and World War II had profound economic impacts across the globe. These wars necessitated massive military expenditures and spurred innovations in warfare technology, but they also led to financial strain and resource shortages. Post-war periods were times of significant economic readjustment, marked by inflation, debt, and the need for reconstruction. The aftermath of World War II saw the establishment of new global economic structures, including the Bretton Woods system, which aimed to stabilize global currencies and foster international trade. The creation of institutions like the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank was crucial in shaping post-war global economic policies and defining new forms of financial wealth. As the world recovered from the ravages of war, a new form of wealth emerged, centered not on land, gold, or industrial output, but on the intangible assets of ideas and innovation. In the next chapter, we will explore the rise of intellectual property as a cornerstone of modern wealth, transforming creators of ideas into powerful economic entities. In the first half of the 20th century, they demonstrated how innovation and conflict can profoundly reshape the paths to wealth. As we close this chapter on the age of innovation and war, we prepare to enter a new era where the battlegrounds for wealth are as much in the minds of innovators as they are in the factories and fields. Join us in the next chapter, Intellectual Property, Wealth, and Ideas, as we delve into the modern dynamics of wealth created and sustained through innovation. Chapter 7: Intellectual Property, Wealth, and Ideas. Emerging from the shadows of global conflict and riding the wave of technological advancement, the mid-20th century marked the ascent of a new kind of wealth: intellectual property. This chapter explores how technological innovations, the arts, and science led to the recognition and protection of ideas as valuable assets, fundamentally altering the landscape of wealth creation. Intellectual property became a cornerstone of the modern economy as nations recognized the need to protect the rights of creators and inventors, fostering an environment where innovation could thrive. Establishing international agreements, like the World Intellectual Property Organization, underscored the global importance of IP rights in promoting economic and creative growth. The rise of industries such as software, pharmaceuticals, and entertainment showcased the significant economic impact of IP. Companies like Microsoft and Apple built empires based on software copyrights and patents, transforming tech innovators into billionaires and reshaping consumer culture. Similarly, the pharmaceutical industry experienced explosive growth as patents protected new drugs, providing companies with the financial incentives to fund costly research and development. However, protecting intellectual property also sparked debates and controversies, particularly regarding access to essential medicines in developing countries and the challenges posed by digital piracy. The balance between rewarding innovation and ensuring public access to knowledge and resources became a central economic and ethical issue. As the 20th century drew to a close, another revolution was taking shape that would further redefine wealth. The digital revolution brought the power of the internet and digital communication, creating new wealth opportunities and highlighting the value of data as a critical asset. In the next chapter, we will explore how the digital age transformed information into a new currency of wealth. Intellectual property has reshaped the arenas where wealth is created and contested, highlighting the value of ideas and creativity in the modern economy. As we conclude this exploration of IP, we stand on the brink of a digital frontier where information becomes the bedrock of wealth. Join us in the next chapter, The Digital Revolution and Redefinition of Wealth, as we delve into how the digital landscape has transformed how wealth is generated, conceptualized, and valued. Chapter 8: The Digital Revolution and Redefinition of Wealth. As the 20th century faded into history, the digital revolution emerged, reshaping every aspect of society. This transformative period, fueled by rapid advancements in computing and telecommunications, was an era where information became a valuable commodity. This chapter explores how the digital age has redefined wealth, creating new economic landscapes and altering the dynamics of power and prosperity. The advent of the Internet was the cornerstone of the digital revolution. It democratized access to information, breaking down geographical and socioeconomic barriers, and enabling a global exchange of ideas and commerce. Companies like Google, Amazon, and Facebook became the new titans of industry, amassing wealth not through traditional means like manufacturing or natural resources, but through the aggregation and utilization of data. The digital economy also spawned entirely new categories of assets and services. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin introduced the concept of digital currency, challenging traditional banking and financial systems. Meanwhile, the rise of e-commerce and digital marketplaces transformed retail, eliminating the need for physical stores and reshaping consumer behavior. Yet, this revolution was not without its challenges. The digital divide highlighted disparities in access to technology, exacerbating economic and social inequalities. Additionally, the concentration of wealth among a handful of tech giants raised concerns about monopoly power and its influence on democracy and personal privacy. As we have seen, the digital revolution has turned data into a pivotal economic resource. The next chapter will delve deeper into this idea, exploring how data has come to be known as the new oil, and examining its implications for personal privacy, security, and economic power in our increasingly connected world. The digital revolution has fundamentally altered our perceptions of wealth, moving it beyond physical assets to include vast, intangible data networks and digital interactions. As we conclude this chapter on the digital redefinition of wealth, we prepare to explore the intricacies of the information economy, where data not only powers new technologies but also creates new frontiers of economic and ethical challenges. Join us in the next chapter, Data as Wealth Information Economies, as we navigate the complexities of this new digital landscape. Chapter 9: Data as Wealth Information Economies. In the digital era, data has transcended its role as mere information and transformed into a critical economic asset, often likened to oil in its ability to generate wealth. This chapter examines how data has become central to the modern economy, influencing everything from business strategies to governmental policies and posing significant challenges to privacy and security. The valuation of data as wealth is evident in how companies like Google and Facebook have built their empires. By collecting vast amounts of data from their users, these corporations can tailor advertisements with unprecedented precision, creating immense revenue streams. This model has revolutionized advertising and set a new standard for business in almost every sector, from healthcare to finance, where predictive analytics can determine trends and influence decisions. However, the rise of data as a commodity also brings complex issues. Privacy concerns have surged as individuals grapple with the extent of data collection and its implications. High-profile data breaches and controversies over data misuse have highlighted vulnerabilities that need addressing to protect personal information in an increasingly networked world. Moreover, the economic benefits of data are not distributed evenly across societies. There is a significant digital divide between those who can access, control, and profit from data, and those who do not. This divide extends between countries and within them, raising questions about equity and justice in the information age. While the information economy has propelled some to great wealth, it has also exacerbated existing inequalities and presented new challenges in wealth distribution. The next chapter will explore the growing wealth gap, focusing on how contemporary economic systems, both traditional and digital, contribute to this disparity and what might be done to mitigate it. As we wrap up our discussion on data as a pivotal component of modern wealth, we recognize that this new form of wealth is powerful yet fraught with ethical and practical challenges. Like any valuable resource, data management will require careful consideration to ensure it benefits society. Join us in the next chapter, The Wealth Gap Inequality in the Modern World, as we delve into the dynamics of inequality and explore potential paths toward a more equitable economic future. Chapter 10: The Wealth Gap Inequality in the Modern World. The proliferation of wealth in the information age has not been universally beneficial. While some have amassed fortunes by capitalizing on digital and traditional resources, significant portions of the global population remain impoverished. This chapter delves into the complexities of the wealth gap, examining its causes, its impacts on society, and the potential for reform. The wealth gap is most apparent when considering the stark contrast between society's most affluent and poorest layers. The top 1% of the world's population controls a disproportionate share of global wealth, while billions struggle to meet basic needs. This disparity is not just a measure of financial inequality, but also a source of social tension and a barrier to economic stability and growth. Several factors contribute to this growing divide. Globalization, while opening markets and creating wealth, has also led to job displacement in traditional sectors such as manufacturing. The digital economy rewards those with high-level technical skills and access to capital, leaving behind those without. Additionally, tax policies in many countries have increasingly favored the wealthy, enabling them to accumulate incredible wealth at the expense of public services that could lift others from poverty. The impact of this inequality reaches far beyond individual wealth. It affects access to education, healthcare, and opportunity, perpetuating a cycle of poverty that is increasingly difficult to break. social mobility decreases, and with it, the cohesion and stability of society are threatened. Addressing the wealth gap requires innovative approaches that rethink how wealth is created, distributed, and taxed. The next chapter will explore various strategies for democratizing wealth, including progressive taxation, education reform, and technological empowerment, to create a more balanced economic landscape. As we conclude our examination of the wealth gap, we must recognize that this is not only an economic issue but a fundamental question of justice and social stability. The challenge will be to implement solutions that address these disparities meaningfully. Join us in the next chapter, Democratizing Wealth Policy, Technology, and Empowerment, as we explore initiatives to reduce inequalities and promote a more inclusive approach to wealth creation. Chapter 11, Democratizing Wealth Policy, Technology, and Empowerment. Amidst growing disparities, the urgent need for strategies to democratize wealth has become increasingly apparent. This chapter explores innovative policies, technological advancements, and empowerment initiatives that aim to redistribute wealth and enhance economic participation worldwide. Progressive taxation is one foundational approach to wealth democratization. By adjusting tax rates to be more favorable to lower-income individuals while imposing higher rates on the wealthy, governments can redistribute resources to fund public services such as education, healthcare, and social security. This helps alleviate immediate poverty and invests in long-term economic growth by empowering a broader population base. Technology also plays a pivotal role in democratizing wealth. Digital platforms have enabled new forms of economic participation, from gig economy jobs to micro-entrepreneurship opportunities in developing countries. Additionally, financial technology fintech innovations, such as mobile banking and blockchain, can provide access to financial services for populations previously excluded from the formal banking system. Education reform is another crucial element. By improving access to quality education and aligning curriculums with the skills demanded in the modern economy, societies can equip individuals with the tools needed to succeed in a rapidly changing job market. Education also empowers people to make informed decisions about their finances and careers, further leveling the playing field. Community empowerment initiatives complement these approaches by encouraging local decision-making and investment in community-driven projects. These programs can stimulate local economies and give communities a stake in their development, fostering a sense of ownership and participation. While policies and technologies aimed at democratizing wealth are crucial, sustainable management of these resources ensures their long-term viability. The next chapter will delve into sustainable wealth strategies that integrate ecological and economic goals, ensuring that wealth generation today does not compromise future generations' ability to meet their needs. The drive to democratize wealth is not merely about economic redistribution, but about creating systems that empower all individuals to contribute to and benefit from economic growth. As we conclude this chapter, we look forward to exploring how sustainable practices can further enhance these efforts. Join us in the next chapter, Sustainable Wealth Integrating Ecology and Economy, as we examine how sustainability can be woven into wealth generation and management. Chapter 12, Sustainable Wealth Integrating Ecology and Economy. As the conversation about wealth evolves, a crucial aspect emerges: sustainability. This chapter examines how integrating ecological considerations with economic activities can create sustainable wealth that benefits current and future generations. Sustainable wealth goes beyond mere financial accumulation. It involves developing economic systems that do not deplete the resources future generations will depend on. This concept is increasingly relevant in environmental challenges like climate change, deforestation, and water scarcity. Addressing these issues while fostering economic growth requires innovative approaches that balance ecological and financial needs. One key strategy is the development of green technologies. Industries are investing in renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydroelectric power, reducing dependency on fossil fuels and opening up new markets and job opportunities. Similarly, advancements in agriculture, such as precision farming and sustainable fisheries, enhance productivity while minimizing environmental impact. The circular economy is another transformative approach. Unlike traditional linear models of take, make, and dispose of, the circular economy emphasizes reusing and recycling materials. Companies are increasingly adopting this model, which reduces waste and environmental impact, and generates economic benefits by creating efficient and sustainable supply chains. Financial instruments such as green bonds and sustainable investment funds also play a vital role. These tools provide capital for environmentally beneficial projects, allowing investors to contribute to sustainable development while earning returns. While sustainable wealth creation addresses the practicalities of integrating ecology with the economy, the philosophical and ethical considerations of wealth are equally important. The next chapter will reflect on these dimensions, exploring how our values and ethics influence our approach to wealth and its distribution. As we conclude our exploration of sustainable wealth, we recognize the importance of adopting economic models that ensure environmental integrity and social equity. The journey towards sustainable wealth is not only about innovation but also about a commitment to future generations. Join us in the next chapter, Philosophical and Ethical Considerations of Wealth, as we delve deeper into the moral responsibilities that accompany wealth and how they shape our societies. Chapter 13: Philosophical and Ethical Considerations of Wealth. As we delve into wealth's philosophical and ethical dimensions, we encounter profound questions about its responsibilities and impacts on individuals and societies. This chapter explores how our values, ethics, and philosophies influence our approaches to generating, distributing, and utilizing wealth. The ethical considerations of wealth begin with questions of fairness and justice. How should wealth be distributed? What responsibilities do wealthy individuals and corporations have to society? These questions challenge us to consider the role of wealth in achieving social equity. The concept of philanthropy, for instance, reflects the belief that those who have amassed significant wealth have a moral obligation to give back to society, helping to address social, environmental, and cultural issues. Moreover, the ethics of how wealth is generated are equally critical. Practices that harm the environment, exploit workers, or deceive consumers raise significant ethical concerns. The push towards corporate social responsibility has led many companies to reevaluate their business models, emphasizing ethical practices as a moral duty and a sustainable business strategy. Philosophically, wealth also prompts us to reflect on the nature of happiness and the good life. Does wealth truly bring happiness? Philosophers from various traditions have debated this question, often concluding that wealth can enhance well-being, but is not a sufficient condition for happiness. This discourse invites individuals and societies to explore deeper values beyond material success. With these philosophical and ethical frameworks in mind, the next chapter looks forward to the future of wealth. As we consider the challenges and opportunities ahead, we will explore how current trends and emerging technologies might reshape our understanding and management of wealth in the years to come. Exploring the philosophical and ethical considerations surrounding wealth enriches our understanding and informs our actions. As we conclude this chapter, we are reminded that wealth is not merely a tool for individual benefit, but a resource with profound societal implications. Join us in the final chapter, The Future of Wealth Challenges and Opportunities, as we seek to envision how the lessons of the past and present can guide us toward a more equitable and sustainable future. Chapter 14: The Future of Wealth Challenges and Opportunities. As we approach the culmination of our exploration into the origins and evolution of wealth, we look ahead to the future, considering the challenges and opportunities that will shape the next era of wealth creation and management. This final chapter synthesizes our journey so far and projects forward, inviting readers to contemplate the role of wealth in a rapidly changing world. The future of wealth faces several significant challenges, including technological disruption, climate change, and persistent inequalities. As digital technologies evolve, they will create new industries and destroy old ones, challenging traditional notions of work, ownership, and wealth. Addressing these disruptions will require adaptable economic policies and innovative educational systems that prepare individuals for emerging job markets. Climate change represents another profound challenge. Sustainable wealth will increasingly depend on our ability to decarbonize the economy and integrate environmental costs into financial decisions. This shift presents opportunities for growth in green technologies and sustainable practices that could drive the next wave of economic prosperity. Inequality remains a persistent challenge. As the wealth gap widens, finding effective ways to redistribute wealth without stifling innovation will be crucial. This may involve rethinking taxation systems, enhancing social safety nets, and investing in universal access to education and healthcare to ensure everyone can participate in and benefit from economic growth. Looking forward, the intersection of artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and nanotechnology could redefine what it means to be wealthy. Enhancing human capacities and prolonging life could lead to new forms of wealth centered around healthspan and biocapital. These developments will raise important ethical and social questions about access and equity. As we close the origins of wealth, we reflect on how wealth has been a central theme in the narrative of human civilization. From the agricultural societies of ancient times to today's digital societies, the pursuit of wealth has shaped our history and will continue to shape our future. This book has been an invitation to understand and engage with the complex tapestry of forces that govern wealth so that we might forge a prosperous, equitable, and sustainable future. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey. Our journey of personal growth is an endless river carved by the flow of our experiences, trials, and the pursuit of our true selves. Let each day be a current that moves you closer to the ocean of your potential, for we uncover life's greatest treasures in the depths of self-discovery. Your support is invaluable. Together, we can enlighten minds and hearts. Subscribe and be part of a movement where every learning journey is celebrated. I am so grateful for your presence and listening. May your path be lined with the currency of knowledge and the dividends of self-improvement. Be well and thrive.